So in this video, we'll be solving these three sums using the theory which we saw in the last video. So let's begin with the first question. It says find all integers not equal to 3 and greater than 1 such that this x minus 3 divides x cube minus 3. Okay, so let's see the solution. Let's solve this. We want x minus 3 to divide x cube minus 3. Okay, now what we do is first let's subtract x 3 to the power cube and add 3 to the power 3. Now this is a cube minus b cube, so this becomes x minus 3 x square plus 3 square plus 3x plus 3 to the power 3 minus 3. Now we can clearly see this x minus 3 divides this term and x minus 3 divides this whole term, so x minus 3 has to divide this term, as we saw, because as we saw in last video, if a divides b plus c and a divides c, then a has to divide this subtraction, which is a has to divide b plus c minus c, which means a has to divide b. Using this, we can say x minus 3 divides x to the cube minus 3, as x minus 3 divides this term. Now x minus 3 has to divide, this is 24. Now what integers can divide 24? That values x minus 3 can take, those are let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 can also divide it, 6 can, 8 can also divide it, 12 can also divide it, and 24 2 can also divide it. We can also take negative integers. We can take minus 1, we can take minus 3, but if we take minus 3, x will be 0. If we take it to minus 3, our x will be 0, but we have to take x greater than or equal to 1. So we can't take negative integers except minus 1. We can't take minus 4, minus 6, because then x will not come out to be greater than 1. So this gives us x equals to 1 plus minus 3. Taking 3 on the right hand side, we will get 4, 3 plus 2, 5. From here we'll get 6, 7, 9, 11, 15, 27, and this will give us 2. So x can take these many values. Which means if we put x equals to these many values in this equation, we'll get numbers a and here a and here b, and a will divide b. You can try for some numbers just to verify. Try to take x equals to 2, or it will be too trivial in the case when x equals to 2. Take x when x equals to 4. So 4 minus 3 divides 4 to the power cube minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. So again it is too trivial. Let's take 5. 5 minus 3 divides 5 to the cube minus 3. Now as we see, 2 divides 5 to the cube minus 3. Now from here we can see this is odd and this term is odd, and odd minus odd is even. Why? Because odd numbers are nothing but 2k plus 1 and 2k1, take it k2, take it k1 plus 1. If you simplify this, you'll get k1 minus k2. So 2 will divide this. So we know that this is even, so 2 will divide this. So for x equals to 5, we have verified. Similarly, we can verify for any of these integers, all will satisfy it. Now let's look at question number 2. It says prove that no integer in the following in the sequence below is a perfect square. So here we want to prove that any number in this sequence is not a perfect square. What are perfect squares? Perfect squares are nothing but numbers like these 4, 9, 16, which can be written as square of some integer. So we have to show none of these numbers in the sequence is a perfect square. So we see all numbers in this sequence are of this form: 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 11 is there, 111 is there, then 1111 is there. So even if we do show that this is not a perfect square, this is not a perfect square, this is not a perfect square, and even this number, this is not a perfect square, but how far down the line how far in this sequence will you, for how many numbers will you prove that, show that those are not perfect squares? So this we can't handle each case on its own because there are infinite terms here. It will just sequence will keep going, so you can't just show for each number. So we have to do something more general. Okay, so let's try to observe something. What we do know from the previous video is all perfect square are of the form 4k or 8k plus 1, and 8k plus 1 can also be written as 4k1 plus 1. 8k plus 1 can also be written as 4k1 plus 1, where k1 we have taken to be 2k plus 1. This k1 is 2k plus 1. So from here we know all square numbers are of the form 4k or 4k plus 1. This much we know from our previous video. So let's try to see what these numbers, what is the form of these numbers. We see this 11 is 4k plus 3 type. 111 is also 108 plus 3. So this is divisible by 4. So 4k plus 3. Same goes for 3. Similarly, if you take any number in this sequence, it will have last two digits will be 11. And what is the divisibility rule by 4? How do we check if a number is divisible by 4 or not? We check the last two numbers. Say this number. Is this number divisible by 4 or not? Yes, it is. Why? Because the last two digits are divisible by 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 7, 3. This number is not divisible by 4 because last two digits are not divisible by 4. This is the rule, divisibility rule by 4. So we have taken an arbitrary number, any number from this sequence, 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, 1. So its last two digits will be 11. This number is not divisible by 4, that we know. Okay, but here if I subtract 3, what will it become then? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I don't know how many times 1, but the last two digits will become 0 and 8. This number will be divisible by 4 because last two digits are divisible by 4. So therefore, if I write this number as 111, this number 5 times 1 as 111 111 plus 3. I can write it in this manner. This number can be written in this manner, no problem. But this number is divisible by 4, so it can be written as 4k, and here it is 3, so 4k plus 3. So what we have shown is any number in this sequence is of the form 4k plus 3. But from a knowledge from previous videos, if a number has to be a perfect square, it has to be of the form 4k plus 1 or 4k. No numbers of the form 4k plus 3 are perfect square. This we saw in our last video. If a number is perfect square, it has to be either of this form or of this form. So from this we can say no numbers in this sequence will be perfect squares because all of them are of this form. So that completes our question number 2. Let's move to question number 3. Third question says, if p is a prime number, show that 2p plus 1 and 4p plus 1 cannot be primes simultaneously. What this question says is, you take p as any prime number, take p to be 5, then this number 2p plus 1, which comes out to be 11, and next number 4p plus 1, this comes out to be 2011. These two numbers cannot be both primes at the same time. One might be, no problem, as in this case this number, first one is a prime, 11 is prime, but 21 is not. If you take p to be 7, then you'll get 15, and in this case you'll get 29. Here too, this is prime, this is not. So we have to show this for any prime. We have taken two cases, but this proves again nothing. We have to take for general case, we have to prove general case. For general case, p can be anything. So now, in our previous video, we saw any prime is either of the p is equals to, p is a prime. So any prime is either of the form 6k plus 1 or it's of the form 6k minus 1. These are two cases we have. Case 1, let's take p equal to 6k plus 1. In case 2, we are taking p to be 6k minus 1. So let's solve for case 1 first. If we take p equals to 6k plus 1, we have then 2p plus 1 becomes this, which is 12k plus 3, which is easily seen it's not a prime because this number is divisible by 3, so it's not a prime. So no need for checking the next 4k plus 1. No need to check it. Even if it is prime, this number is not prime, so we are done. So let's look at a second case. Here 2p plus 1 becomes 6k minus 1 plus 1, so it becomes 12k minus 1. This could be a prime. Could it be? Yes, it could be for some k, as we cannot claim that any integer will always divide it. We cannot show that an integer a will always divide it no matter what k you choose. We cannot show that in this case. Here we can, because 3 will divide it, as take 3 out, 4k plus 1. If you take any k, 3 will always be here, so it's always divisible by 3. So now let's look at 4p plus 1. So 4p plus 1 will become 4p. We have taken this 6k minus 1 plus 1. It becomes 24k plus 3. Now this number is again divisible by 3. You take 3 common. You take any k, this will be divisible by 3. So in this case, this failed. This may have passed or may not have passed, we don't care. This failed, so this case is done. In this case failed, so we are done in this case too. So this shows for any prime p greater than 3, of course, these two numbers can never be primes simultaneously. It may happen that one is prime, one is composite, that can happen, but both cannot be prime at the same time. So we have solved these 3 problems, and that's it for this video.